Artificial intelligence is here to stay, so it's essential to integrate it into our workflow, as many great creators are already doing in their reels. A good example is Julián Alborná, who, in addition to his incredible talent for storytelling, uses these tools to experiment with highly original styles and animations. In this tutorial, in addition to working in After Effects, we will use some AI tools to recreate one of his fantastic scenes, in which the camera seems to enter through his eye and takes us inside his head, where his brain appears talking. We will learn how to generate the high-quality image, create the audio, animate the talking brain, and make the transition through the eye in After Effects. By the way, if you want to support the channel, in addition to your likes, you can also do it from my Patreon page. There, I share with you all the projects I use in the tutorials, so you can keep practicing and learning. I leave the link in the description if you want to take a look. If there is an image that you like and you want to make a similar one, you can take a screenshot. I was really struck by this transition, which gives the impression that the camera passes through him and shows the inside of his head, where we can see his brain talking. If you press the shortcut, Windows plus Shift plus S, you can select the area you want to capture. By the way, if you like documentary-style editing, my course is now available. But it's not just a course in which I show you how to animate a sequence in After Effects and that's it. But I show you the entire procedure that I followed to create this animation. From the initial idea to the final render, going through each and every phase of the creative process. I'll leave the link in the description in case you want to take a look. We are going to open this screenshot in Photoshop to remove the letters and some other elements. Select the lasso tool and circle this area. Hold down the Shift key to add areas to the selection. Now click on Generative Fill, Generate, and wait a few seconds for Photoshop to clean up the image. It has generated 3 variants, and we can choose the one we want from this arrow. I'm going to stick with this one. We are also going to fill in the volume icon. Finally, we go to Export and save this image as a JPG in our file folder. The next step will be to go to Chat GPT. We are going to ask it to write us a prompt to generate images like this one in Freepik. In the plus icon, we can upload the image we have retouched in Photoshop. We click Send and wait a moment. Here we have the prompts. I'm going to copy this one in English. The next thing we'll do is generate a similar image in good quality. I'm going to do it in Freepik. In the Freepik interface, we go to Image Generator, and in this dialog box, we'll paste the prompt that ChatGPT gave us. As I said at the beginning, many of these sites offer you a trial version or credits, but they're not enough if you're going to use it a lot or want high-quality results. I have a paid account, but I've almost used up all my credits. As we can see, Freepik has some artificial intelligence models integrated, including Nano Banana. I'm going to leave it on automatic and, before clicking on Generate, In the character option, I'm going to upload the image we've retouched in Photoshop as a reference. Here in the style, I'm also going to upload the image. So the results will be much more similar to the image we want to achieve. Now we can click on Generate and wait a few seconds to see what it returns. If we want more results, we click on Generate again. Obviously, this will cost us credits from our account. Any of these images can be used to make the animation. To download it in high quality, we click on Upscale. We are going to do it in 2K, and of course, this will also cost us a few credits. Here we have our image in 2K ready. All that's left is to download it and save it to our file folder. Before moving on to animating the talking brain, let's reopen the image in Photoshop. The idea is to expand all these parts so that those cuts are not visible. We unblock the image and select the crop tool. With the Alt key pressed, we expand the canvas a little to the sides, up and down. Using the rectangular marquee tool, we're going to select almost the entire image, leaving just a little bit on each side. We'll invert the selection using this icon. We'll click on Generative Fill, Generate, and wait a few seconds for Photoshop to fill in all these empty spaces. Now we can't see those cuts at the bottom or on the sides anymore. Go back to File, Export, and save this image as a JPG, give it a name, and save it in your folder. Now, let's create the audio. I'm going to do it in Elevenlabs. If I'm not mistaken, Elevenlabs gives you 10,000 characters with the free version, which is enough to make this audio and many others. Go to where it says Text to Speech and type in your phrase. Here, you can choose the voices. I'm sure you recognize some of them.
Just trust yourself.
As we are liberated from
The thing always happens that
life without
love will trust a few.
A single rose can be my garden.
I'd rather regret the things that
The world is round.
For this animation, I'm going to choose Clyde.
I've not done.
Click on Generate Speech and wait a few seconds.
You can do it. You've trained for this moment. Give it your all and show why you're here.
If you don't like it, you can click on Generate again.
You can do it. You've trained for this moment. Give it your all and show why you're here.
Finally, click on the download icon and you're done. Here we have our audio file. This is the last step before going into After Effects. And here we are going to make our image talk. I'm going to go to Infinite Talk. Currently, this app offers you 5 credits in its trial version, but they are not enough to download the animations in high quality. So if you're interested, these are the plans you can find here. With this $10 plan, you get 90 credits, you can generate full HD videos, and it also includes lip syncing. Then there are other more expensive plans. But for this tutorial, I bought this one, and now I have 74 credits left. We go to the Infinite Talk tab, where we can convert image to video or video to video. In this case, image to video. Here we are going to upload the image we have prepared in Photoshop. In this part, the audio we have generated in Elevenlabs. And here I am going to write a very basic prompt. The character looks at the camera and talks, blinks, and moves. Note that at 480 pixels, it costs us 1 credit per second. So if the audio lasts 6 seconds, it costs 6 credits. At 720 pixels, it costs 2 credits per second. And if we want to make the video in full HD, it will cost us 3 credits per second. We check that everything is correct, the image, the audio, the prompt, and we click on Generate Video. This may take a few minutes. Here it is. Let's listen to it.
You can do it. You've trained for this moment. Give it your all and show why you're here. You can do it. You've trained for this moment. Give it your all and show why you're here.
It actually looks pretty good. If you don't like the result, you can generate a new video, which will cost you another 18 credits. When you're happy with the result, click on Download, and that's it. We now have everything ready to go to After Effects. Okay, let's start with the After Effects part. Go to File and import the files we're going to need, in this case, some footage I have here of an athlete. And we're also going to import the talking brain. We'll create a composition called Animation 1080 by 1920 at 30 frames per second, and with 15 seconds to spare. Even less, we'll leave it at 10. Now, we'll bring this footage of the female athlete into the composition and convert it to 3D. If the cube icon doesn't appear, we'll display it with F4. We're going to adjust its position. Move it a little to the right and also a little up. Here on the y-axis, I'm going to set it to 850. Okay, that's perfect. Right-click to create a 35mm camera and a node. Right-click again. New Null Object. Convert it to 3D and parent the camera to it. Starting at the beginning of the timeline, we display the position with the P key and mark a keyframe. Now we move forward to 120. And we move the values until we achieve the transition through the eye, making sure that it remains more or less in the center of the composition. So we are going to move these values. As always, we are going to set exact values. At X 760, Y 940, and Z, we're going to zoom in until the image disappears completely from the composition. Here we set a value of 1080. We smooth these two keyframes with F9. In the graphics editor, we shape the curve a little. We double-click on the handle and set the influence to 75%. We leave the other one as it is by default. Perfect. If we want, we can also adjust the null's path, giving it a little shape. We select it, choose the pen tool, and by clicking on the handle, we give it a little curve, but only a little. The next thing we're going to do is the eye mask. We select this layer and choose the ellipse tool. Position yourself right in the center of the pupil, and with Ctrl and Shift pressed, make a perfect circle. More or less around there. Set the mask to none mode to see the entire image. And if you want, you can adjust the points, although it doesn't have to be perfect. If you move the timeline, you'll see that the mask doesn't follow the shape of the eye very well. So we go to the beginning of the timeline, right-click on the mask, and select Track Mask. A window will open, and we simply press the play button to analyze forward. We wait a few seconds until the tracking is complete. When the image is no longer visible, we press this button again and stop the tracker. Now we can see that the mask perfectly follows the movement of the eye. We put the mask in subtract mode. We display the options and increase the feather a little. 3 points is enough. We now go to the second one, mark a keyframe in the mask expansion, and set the value to -50 until the eye is completely closed. A little further on, at 110, we set it back to 0. Now, at this last keyframe of the null, we bring in the talking brain. We place it underneath, convert it to 3D, and with Ctrl plus Home, we center it in view so that it is right in front of the camera viewfinder. This layer needs to be made a little bigger, at 120%.
You can do it. You've trained for this moment. You can do it. You've trained.
The brain should start talking a little later. With the U key, we display all the keyframes, and it will speak just when the eye opens completely again. So, we put the brain layer there. In the part where nothing is visible, we do the following. We place ourselves in the first frame of the brain layer, and with Ctrl plus D, we duplicate it. Right-click on this copy, select Time, and freeze the frame. Extend this one to the beginning of the timeline, and without moving the cursor, press Ctrl plus Shift plus D to cut it. You can also do this from Edit, Split Layer. Delete the excess part.
You can do it. You can do it. You can do it. You can do it.
To fill in the empty spaces, we can use the CC repeat effect. Or we can duplicate the layer again and apply the fill effect to the one below. Now, pulling on the controllers, we will make it a little bigger. And for the color, we will select one from the edge of the brain video. It looks perfect.
You can do it. You can do it.
To give it a little more dynamism, we are going to apply the shake effect. We create an adjustment layer called Shake. We are going to apply the transform effect. And we are also going to add a slider control. In the transform effect, we double-click on the position property and it opens in the timeline. We press Alt and click on the clock. Type wiggle, and in parentheses, 10 comma. And without leaving there, we parent the pick whip to the slider. Nothing happens now because the value is 0. But if we increase it, we will see the shake effect.
You've trained for this moment. Do it.
The good thing about the slider is that we can control this shake with frames. We set the value to 0. And at around frame 16, we mark a keyframe. And if we press the U key, it shows us the keyframe. We advance to 112, and at this point, we set a value of 20. Two frames after the animation ends, 1, 2, we set the value back to 0. We preview to see how it looks.
You can do it. You've trained for this moment. You can do it. You've trained.
With Ctrl+A, we select all the layers and activate motion blur. It is not necessary for the null and the adjustment layer. If you want the motion blur to be more noticeable here, when the transition occurs, you have to go to Composition, Settings, and here in Advanced, you can increase this value. I'm going to set it to 360 and here to 32. Now the blur is much more noticeable.
You can do it. You've trained for this moment. Give it your all and show why you're here.
With the exception of sound effects and some color corrections, we now have the animation finished and working perfectly. If you get stuck somewhere or there's something you don't understand, write to me in the comments and we'll sort it out. And if you like the tutorial, leave me a nice like so I know. See you in the next video.